Report, please.
The June report was published.
Okay, so looking for approval of the minutes from a board member.
Motion to accept.
Made by Mark Brody, FC39.
Second.
Seconded by Carlos, IPFC 37. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, call for vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, they are opposed. Any discussion? Don't record.
That's it.
Oh, that's him. Oh,
Just popped up.
Any discussion? Motion passes. Thank you. Finance report, Ms. Edelman.
Okay, as of the last meeting in June, we had $7,208.11. I had income of $172 in dues, and I had expenses of $198 in dues for the second quarter of 2019. And I had $200 that we put out in donations for members who had passed, so the total expenses were $398. Our ending cash balance as of yesterday was $6,982.11. I am still waiting to receive payment from 3/4 for their second quarter dues, which was sent out yesterday by 3/4, and it was my fault that I did not remind him to get it to me sooner. I have not had a good summer.
I understand. Totally understand. Okay, well, and I'm looking for a motion to approve the report and file for audit.
Move to accept. Second.
Okay. Made by Rabotsky, seconded by Sattler. Okay, any discussion on the motion?
Gail, when is the money due at the next level in the division? When does the district, when does our lump sum of money need to go to the district? I mean, yeah, the district.
Okay, we get, this is the second quarter dues. We will get, in October, I will get a third quarter dues amount for any new members that came in during the third quarter of the year. The annual dues, we get the dues bills in February or March. And so then I send them out to the flotillas.
All the flotillas, if I understand, are kind of collecting the dues now
Yes,
for 2020.
2020, and they have to set that money aside and not use
Right.
any of it until
And then
they get a bill from
and
me.
you want it sent to you like in October?
No,
No.
No, but
No.
they get a bill for it.
The division, the national bills, district bills, the division bills, the
Oh, okay.
flotillas.
yeah, until I get the bill from the district to know exactly how many people I'm going to be charged for. And that basically is based on the number of members at the end of December. So anyone who has members that they need to disenroll, you should be sending out certified letters to anybody that you have not received dues from by the end of, by October 1st, basically. Disenrollments must happen be sent to HR before December 15th. Otherwise, anyone who is not disenrolled before that, by then, will be charged for the next year.
Okay, one point with the disenrollments, I don't want to get off topic though, I'll go back onto the motion, but basically in the manual it says any auxiliary that has paid the dues by whatever date there is shall be disenrolled, period. So there is no grace period, there are no payments, and the manual does not provide any provisions for the flotillas or the district or the division to pay for anyone's dues. That's a personal responsibility, and that's up to the flotillas to enforce and collect. And I think
But the certified letters must
yes,
go
must
out.
go out.
And
ASAP.
and just so you know, and you let your finance people know, whoever sends out the certified letters, the post office does not send those green cards back anymore. You have to go online to get the notification of whether it's been received or not. And you cannot submit to disenroll anyone for non-payment without that noting that that green card has been, it's either been sent back to you or it's been delivered to the person.
The whole disenrollment process is pretty well on the district website. Well, I got a motion on the floor, so.
Okay, I heard.
So, district website has a whole disenrollment process slideshow that you would need, and if anybody needs to, you can talk to the SOHR on that, and that's Angela Palmero. She's very receptive and very helpful on the disenrollment process, because it involves the HR people as well. Okay, so any more discussion on the motion to approve the minutes? I mean, to approve the finance report? Okay, hearing none, let's call for a vote. All those in favor of accepting the finance report and file for audit, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, the motion passes.
Okay, one more thing on disenrollments, now that we've finished them up. They should be sent through the help desk.
They have to be sent
They
through.
have to be sent through the help desk.
Jeff?
Point of order on that is, I talked with Angela Palmer on a couple of things dealing with this, and we talked about the green cards. They don't really do the green cards anymore. And they'll give you a little receipt with the numbers on it. You go online, you do a tracking number, and as long as you've taken a screenshot of your computer, something that says delivered by a certain
Right.
date, then you attach that JPEG or whatever to your help desk ticket, and then that's acceptable for Sonoma.
And, yes.
I guess procedurally, should they not pay their dues by their date? The way the manual reads, they have elected to disenroll.
No, disenrollment process, no, they don't pay, if they don't pay their dues, they disenroll.
They're disenrolled.
They're disenrolled, so the disenrollment process starts. But however, the HR, the district HR process, has a specific protocol to follow. That's it. And you can look online and look that up. Okay, very good, thank you very much. District 7 report, there's no one here from the district right now, so we'll go to the station Fort Lauderdale report. Chief.
There's not too much. I know the holiday dinner is going to be scheduled soon. Winterfest boat parade, Pompano boat parade, possibly another family evening for the holidays. Snowbird season's coming.
Clear Channel pickup soon?
Yes. We'll pick up. So, that's all I have here.
Thank you very much, Chief, appreciate it. Okay, as far as, we'll go into the DCDR report. D-Train was a great experience. It was very well attended. Our division was very well attended. I think we had 8 people there from our division at one time or another. So it was good to see new members there, existing members and officers. A lot of the takeaways I got when I especially went to a session with retention, and retention starts at the recruitment period, basically. And one of the takeaways is it's a great organization, but it's not a great organization for everybody. So it's incumbent upon us when we do our recruitment, when we talk to the candidate at first, tell them what's expected. So you're expected to take certain, a new member exam. You're expected to buy your own uniform. You're gonna have a financial obligation. You're expected to put in hours. You have to, you will, in order to do most things you wanna do, you're gonna have to demonstrate certain competencies with risk management and TCT. The more information we give the people at the outset, and we tell them what a PSI is, how long it takes, when the ID card realistically is gonna come, the less disappointment there is down the line. So if someone says, you'll get your ID card within 3 months or 4 months, you should get it. You tell them in 2 weeks, it doesn't come, they're disappointed already. You gotta tell them about uniforms. Another thing about D-Train, I want to bring back is that we have a brand new DIROX, Commander Briggs, brand new OTO, Bosun Haley Brown, and they are brand new to the area. They don't have any knowledge or history at all, so they're basically in a learning curve of how the auxiliary operates, the relationship that the auxiliary has with the Gold side, what the function is. So I was asked to tell everybody, give them some time to acclimate, because they're still acclimating, basically. I think Bosun Brown has some better hands-on knowledge because he was the detailer who gave out the details. But Commander Briggs basically is, he was an air ops guy. So it's going to take him a little bit of time. If you get to know him, he's a very good guy, and it was a pleasure getting to know those people there as well. If anybody wants to purchase any items that were at the D7 store, feel free to contact, I would say, Angela Palmero, and she can put you in touch with some people that had items there for sale as well. I know other people there, so rather than me take my own report on it, Michael, you want to give 2 or 3 seconds on what you thought about D-Train? Real quick?
I was extremely impressed this year.
more impressed this year than last year. I thought it was well planned. I thought it was put together well. I thought the classes were very informative this year. I attended 5 of them, and the dinner was great.
Yeah, food was better.
Yeah, it was. Everything was, it went like clockwork. Okay, there was no hitches.
Yeah.
And anybody that hasn't attended, you should attend. Okay, it's just, you get a lot from it.
Christina, it was your first time?
Yes, it was.
Go ahead, Ann, real quick.
I attended the OX 17 course. It was a 2-day course. And then on Saturday, I attended the aviation meeting, which they also had a series of workshops. And also networked with some potential pilots that I will be mentoring under. And Paul, I didn't realize that one of my own members from my own flotilla was there, so it was good to connect and follow and mentor. He's probably gonna help me mentor me. I took also a series of like another 3 to 4 classes that Saturday, and then on Monday, Sunday I actually sat for the TCT refresher, or the new RM. So got all the risk management courses out of the way, so we're here.
Thank you. Bruce,
Good.
real quick, Bruce.
I attended about 5 classes, and I found them to be very, very informative. I learned a lot more than I did before from those classes.
Good. Thank you. Mr. Brody.
Well, with the new OTO and the new director, it's difficult to get through the QE part, but there's some changes coming down the road with operations. There's going to be some new guidelines. I think we're pretty much there already, but I think they're going to get put in writing this time. I don't see basic changes, but there's going to be tighter restrictions on emissions, what QE's doing.
Thank you. And Mr. Robatsky.
I was there through a glorious moment when the election announced that the winner for the D captain East was Mr. Robert Sherman.
Thank you.
And I also, there's also a new chief director, Scott Johnson, who has 3 missions. He said Hawks Data is being somehow outsourced to Salesforce and put on AWS. Sea Scouts was a big thing, and mishaps were an issue to him. And he's looking to bring a lot of things forward to all that. And the only take-home thing was, I thought it would be interesting, I'm going to send everybody the summary of all the accidents that happened in 2018. And it showed that 633 people died, which is actually less than the previous year, but only 6% were wearing life jackets. I mean, so it lets you know that the stuff we do with the dock side, the education courses, actually saved an incredible number of lives. So we should all be proud of ourselves and pass on to the membership.
Thank you. And Paul, Mr. Greenbaum.
I had the privilege of attending. The OX 17 is enhanced for resource management, so I think it's something we'll be able to share also with our boat crew. It was a great experience.
Thank you. Was anyone else at D-Train that I did not recognize?
I was there.
Okay, Mr. Vian?
I did not attend any classes, but I strongly recommend the website that we're entitled to use now for reservations, the American Travel Forces. They have pretty good deals. But I was just for Saturday for a short, brief period, so.
Thank you.
Bob?
Yes.
Raphael?
Raphael, you were there?
You sure did.
Great experience, first time. I took maybe 5 classes. I took the Ox Data, Ox 1, and there's a lot of amazing changes coming out for whoever has to do with that program every day. I can't wait for next year. The people you meet, everyone's friendly, everyone's nice, they can eat great. Nice.
Good, thank you. See what a great experience was, not just for the bridge, for all the members. And I really recommend it for next year, if you can, when the dates come out. I think if the flotillas can, they can sponsor partially or whatever. That's something these flotillas should talk about if you want to. However you can, but the more people that can attend these things, not only is it good for the division, because people see us as a force, it's good for the member. Everybody talked about something different. Everyone took home something different. That's a good thing about a conference. It'll be from operation to PVs to we talk the new UX data, the God's ears please. You know, it's gonna be rolled out piecemeal, so to speak. Yes,
I just have a comment. Donna Miller was one of the instructors. I think it was Show Me the Money. Were you in that with me?
no,
No.
Jerry Maguire.
go ahead.
And, you know, she talked about inconsistency. Inconsistency in the division amongst the flotillas. How each flotilla seems to be, and a lot of members think like this, each flotilla is at war, if you want to put it, you know, and they stand on their own, and they set their own rules for each flotilla. And the word inconsistency came up a lot, okay? And she's right. At least I believe she's right. There is an inconsistency in a lot of the things with the flotillas. And I don't know if it's ever going to change, and I don't know if it should change, and I don't know if it's up to you two guys now or the new guys afterwards to try to get consistency. What's your take on that?
My take is we are so much stronger together than we are separately, and I really think that ending 2019, we are one team, one mission, and I think we're 326 strong. And I always say, you know, there's no more 5 families, we're one division with an additional 6 flotilla. And I think that each flotilla has its own identity, but I really think that, and I've talked with a lot of people about it, that those lines are being crossed now. Just look at the events we've had at National Safe Boating Week was one, the boat show would be another. We had more flotillas, Tiger Kids, other types of events. We even did that parade once, Carlos, in Lighthouse Point. We had people from different flotillas there.
And
So I think we're doing a lot more with more resources. Operations, it's very common now to have people from all the flotillas on one boat. And now we have a list where Mark mails out all the time to all the qualified crew and coxswains, no matter what flotilla they're in, to participate. That goes for all the events that we've had. So I think we have worked, we made progress toward that goal, a lot of progress, but there's always more progress to make. That's my take. Yes,
And I don't know if I feel the same way that you do. I think that a lot of things are being done with multiple flotilla that we are doing at a division level. Training, we've done training together with
Yes.
you guys.
Yeah.
Now with 3-2, we're going to do some public education together, 3-7 and 3-4. And the radio, the comms, I don't think that we're thinking flotilla, we're thinking division, at least. And I would say multi-division. We're doing stuff with Division 5 and with Division 6. I'm a lot more optimistic than you are.
and also don't forget the training we have at All Slams. All
Yes.
Slams and
Yeah.
AMLOC, you know, that was 1 or 2, 3 weekends of people from all over the division and people from Division 5. So I think we have made, I think we kind of lead the way, I would like to think.
The lighthouse, we do the
And the
lighthouse.
lighthouse is all, yeah, the lighthouse, every month. So we're doing more things together, and we're stronger together. As we're, some divisions might have that issue, but I think that's been a goal of Brett and mine over the past 2 years, was to basically let each flotilla keep their identity and what they do, but do more things together as a division. So,
Great. Bunch of different children, they're never all gonna be the same, but yet they're all gonna sit down and have dinner together.
All wearing the same uniform.
there you go, one team, one mission. Absolutely. Okay, those are awards and, okay, now, before we get to awards, uniforms I put down on the agenda because this was an item of discussion almost at every single session that I went to, and it was discussed ad nauseum throughout the whole time. One is, if you choose to wear the uniform, wear it correctly or don't, and proudly, or don't wear it at all. The United States Coast Guard, active duty, takes offense when auxiliaries who have the privilege, it's not a right, the privilege of wearing a uniform, and they see us not wearing it correctly, because we have the same standard. And the standard is, if we are going to wear the Coast Guard uniform, we are to wear it correctly and proudly. I encourage every flotilla commander to have uniform inspections, uniform presentations, okay, on a regular basis. And if you see a member who's not wearing the uniform, it's incumbent upon the leadership or other flotilla members, take that member aside and say, you know, you need to be doing this, 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 and this. You don't want to go down the disciplinary road, but if you have to, that's an option. I don't recommend you do that right away, but it is an option. But wearing the uniform of the United States Coast Guard is a privilege, not a right. And if you choose to wear it and buy it, wear it correctly and wear it proudly. And that goes on everything from TROPs to ODUs to the service dress blues to the whites. And I know when I bought my service dress blue jacket, I was on the phone with Mr. Etheridge and Mr. Barnes quite a few times. Well, how do I do this? I want to make sure it's right, you know? So that's the whole thing. So just make sure with uniforms, please, and do not hesitate to talk to your members. I don't care if you're on patrol, at a PA event, at a flotilla meeting, PE classes, and wearing the uniform correctly means it's clean, it's pressed, okay, it fits correctly. If a member needs a larger or smaller size, tell the member. If the slacks are dirty or haven't been properly cleaned, the trousers, tell them in private. Because, and here is the big why, is that I understand, I don't know this for a fact, but I've been told that there is talk amongst the higher levels of the Coast Guard, okay, to change the uniform of the auxiliaries back to something separate. All right, that's what I have heard. That's what I've been asked to bring to this meeting, to everybody at home, and all the flotilla leadership sitting in front of me. Please bring this to your members in a positive way, a professional way, and a creative way. That to make sure that if they can't afford the uniform, don't wear it. And how many times I've been at flotilla meetings, I see the member wearing half the uniform, wearing the blouse, but not the trousers. Wearing wearing the blouse, but wearing the trop shirt, but not having the proper devices and decorations and stuff on. So for those who have served in the military, it's your honor. That's at stake. Basically, and for those of us civilians who have the privilege to wear this uniform, we have an obligation to wear it correctly, wear it proudly, and wear it right, or don't wear it at all. Okay, so I'll tell everybody that we covered that. Okay. Oh, okay, new hat. This is an authorized hat that's on sale. You can buy it. It's $25. 10 of those $25 you can take off on your taxes. Basically, it's a fundraiser for the district, and basically this is an authorized ODU ball cap now. So basically, the only difference is it says District 7 on the bottom rather than just the auxiliary. But this is an authorized ODU ball cap that you can wear. And I thought it was pretty cool, so I bought it. Mr. Page bought one too. So, and I have one more for sale if somebody wants to buy it. Okay? So, I bought it for 25, so I'm selling it for 50. No, 25.
Tolls.
Okay. Award presentations, basically. So we have a lot of awards to give out, and I want to start with the highest one first. And I'm going to ask two people to help me with this, and that's Flotilla Commanders Jeff Barnes and Flotilla Commander Mark Brody. Want to join me up here, please? It's with pride I call Irving Gelbart to the podium, please. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to read this award. Attention to award, please. From the Commandant to Irving Gelbart, United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Subject: Auxiliary Commandant's Letter of Commendation. 1. I know with pride, and I am pleased to commend you for your performance of duty as Flotilla Staff Officer, Human Resources from September 2017 to January 2019. Displaying exceptional organizational and administrative skills, you designed and assembled a comprehensive new member packet that encompassed all recent auxiliary policy changes and updates. Recognizing that rapid development of auxiliary activities is a key driver of successful member orientation, you personally work with all arrivals, pairing each with a mentor for the first 6 months of service. As a result, this concentrated effort and individual attention, the Plantation Flotilla gained 11 new members who significantly contributed to the success of the wide variety of flotilla programs. Upon the chartering of Flotilla 39 in Dania Beach, Florida, you were elected to the position of Flotilla Vice Commander. Additionally, you volunteered to serve as the flotilla's first Human Resources Officer, a role critical to the establishment and future success of the new flotilla. Your selfless dedication to the Coast Guard Auxiliary and to the principle of leadership by example was evident in your own volunteer efforts as you provided more than 1,300 hours of service in support of the United States Coast Guard and its missions. 2, you are commended for your outstanding performance of duty. By your meritorious service, you have upheld the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard and the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. 3, you are hereby authorized to wear the Auxiliary Commandant's Letter of Commendation Ribbon Bar. For the Commandant, J.F. Burdian, Captain, United States Coast Guard, Commander, Coast Guard Sector, Miami. Congratulations. Let's take a picture.
Speech. Guys, hold them.
Say cheese.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
Congratulations, they're well deserved.
Job well done.
Well done. Okay, I'm going to ask Gene Kane to deliver the screening, who is the screening committee chairperson, to deliver his report. Gene, the floor is
All
yours.
right, thank you. So Cindy and I were the screening committee, and I'd like to report that we have 2 people who have indicated an intent to run for division commander, and that would be Jeffrey Barnes of 3-8 and Brett Grabowski of 3-9. Both are fully qualified to hold that position, and so they will be up for election in November, I believe.
November 2nd.
As far as the vice division commander position, one candidate has come forward, and that would be Mark Brody of Flotilla 3-9. And again, he's fully qualified to hold that position.
So you,
That is my report.
you submit the nominations for those 3 people?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. You are hereby dismissed as the screening committee chair. Thank you very much, and thank Cindy for your hard work and diligence on this. Thank you. So we have 2 candidates for for division commander, and 1 candidate for division vice commander.
Can I add one other thing to
Absolutely.
as an aside? I did go online to that new website that came down just a couple of days ago that lists every person in the district, basically, as to their availability, their qualifications to either be yes, elected to a position, or no, not eligible. So even at the flotilla level, I would recommend the flotilla commanders access that list, because if you have people running for flotilla commander or vice flotilla commander, it's very clear, the first 2 columns, one is flotilla, the next one is division, there's either a Y in it or there's an N in it. And that pretty much signifies the person is either qualified or not qualified for that position. So check it out. It came out, what, maybe a week ago? Or
Just about. And everybody got that, I know. Everyone got that, was not ahead. Everyone knows that. It's no secret.
And if you have any problem accessing it or how to use it, send me an email and I'll be glad to assist.
Good. Thank you. Going back on awards, I already gave these out to the flotilla commanders, And basically, the District 7 2018 Commodore Certificates of Excellence have been issued to the commanders. I just want to go over the names real quick. We have Jennifer Blau, Member Services, 100 hours or more from 3-6. William Carney, Operational Support of 100 hours or more. Andrew Rutherford from 3-6. William Hanlon from 3-8. David Scott from 3-8. Robert Effords from 3-9. Mark Brody from 3-9. Robert Sherman from 3-9. David Lee from 3-9. So again, these awards were given to the flotilla commanders. Please, please give them out accordingly. Also, we were recognized at D-Train for our diversity. Our division received another diversity award. I want to thank Carolina Farmer for that. And every flotilla has received the diversity award, which is the Diversity Management 3-Star Award of Excellence. Okay, it was given to flotilla 3-2, 3-4, 3-6, 3-7, 3-8, and 3-9. So again, thank you very much for your efforts. All right, thank you. Okay. 3-6, 3-7. Divisions. Okay. We also have awards. Peter Page. Come on up. I'm going to present this to Peter. I'm going to ask Peter to present this to all the flotillas next month. And I know it's not a usual step to ask you for a staff officer to do this, but I feel that, you know, basically Peter has been a solid rock star with PA this year. So we have an MTC, a Meritorious Team Award for several people, I'll announce all their names, in the different flotillas. And rather than me or Brett going to the flotillas to give them out, I'd like to give Peter that honor, if you would accept. Okay, and these people are Michael Ader, 3-9, Ray Antorcha, 3-8, Tracy Antorcha, 3-8, Rafael Baez, 3-6, William DeLong, 3-9, Robert Etheridge, 3-9, Richard Flowers, 3-2, Irving Gelbart, 3-9, Paul Kalapadas, 3-7, Allison McManus, 3-8, Philip Nicholas, 3-7, Peter Page, 3-2, Louis Pierre, 3-2, Gerald Raymond, 3-9, Andrew Rutherford, 3-6, David Scott, 3-8, Tyler Singh, 3-8, Rona Chackenberg, guest member of 3-8. So if you would please honor Brett and I by you going to the flotilla meetings to present this MTC to different flotillas. Thank you. Flotilla commanders, I can ask you. The MTC, this is for public affairs.
Okay,
I'm sorry. This is the public affairs team. And they've done such a great job this year all around the division. And Peter has done such a great job with public affairs this year. I asked Peter to give them out. It's my apologies. It's the public affairs team for Division 3. And since I received that, I said, you know, Peter's the guy who's really been the
Surprise! I didn't know we got that.
So basically, congratulations. And he had some tough footsteps to fill with David Scott last year, but I told him it's a different pair of shoes. And it was, and he's made it his own, and he's done a great job, and I can't thank the people who have done this enough. And flotilla commanders, please give Mr. Page some time on your agendas over the next 2 months to distribute, to present the awards again. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. That about does it for awards. Basically, I'm going to ask Peter to come up again to give an update on the boat show, upcoming boat show. Board approval or action is required on this. So Peter, podium is yours.
So I did some. I contacted the people who are running the boat show, and we did get our booth. Our booth is, everybody knows where the convention center is, right? Our booth is not, now is going to be this year, it's in the lobby. So this is where you come into the convention center over here. And
Carlos, can you get that on camera a little bit? Or
we're going to be
Stand over here,
in the
Peter.
lobby.
move the camera?
You will need to get very
Stand
close.
here, Peter.
Go ahead, stand there and talk to the camera.
Yeah, we're going to be, so anyway, it's in the convention center. We're part of the Blue Wild Art exhibit, and that's it. So it's October 30th to November 3rd. I want to ask all of the flotilla commanders to gather up the staff, because we're going to need to staff this for 5 straight days. And we know that becomes slightly problematic. So I'm going to be sending out emails to the flotilla commanders and the public affairs people, and start building up a schedule for
So
this.
you want them all to contact you personally?
Well, I want to, yeah, yes. But I also want to get one of those schedules that, I guess on, is it SurveyMonkey?
No, MailChimp.
Yeah, I want to do
One of
that.
those
So
different kind of monkey.
everybody can go online and
Different name.
put in their time slots. But we need help for this.
What are the dates? The dates for the boat show?
October 30th to November 3rd. So it's 5 days,
Trucks.
5 full days. And we need staff.
What uniform?
The uniform would be trops.
Tropical blue.
Yeah. Uniform is trops,
Peter,
because it's inside, and it's air conditioned.
do we have electricity in our booth?
Typically,
Well,
we
this
do-
booth, by the way, is being comped, so I
Can we comp the electricity?
don't know.
Typically, they do give us electricity.
Here's how it works. If there's an outlet close by, we have electricity.
We're like in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So that we're not near where the outlets are.
Well, they might have some outlets in the floor.
One year we were in the main lobby, but to the left.
Yes,
Yeah, that's where
where we're at again.
Okay,
But
right for the food.
in
Yes.
all,
Did you like that?
in the 4 years
It's a
that
good spot.
I've been
Yeah.
going, we always had electricity.
Are you gonna have the time slots in the letter you're gonna send out?
Yes.
With the webpage.
Yeah, FAU was right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll split it up, like a morning shift and an afternoon shift. And whatever-
In the past, it's been about 4-hour shifts, and basically, in the past, different flotillas have taken the different shifts, and then they went down that way. But it's up to Peter how he wants to do it.
And you
But-
want 2 people per shift?
Yeah, I'd
At
love 2
least.
people per shift.
Minimum of 2 people.
Yeah.
I would love that, and, yeah, no, that would be great. So that's 4 people minimum per day for 5 days. But it's a great event, everybody likes this event.
Questions?
I have a question.
Wait,
No, I
hold
was
on,
gonna
Christina?
I was gonna make a statement. There's electrical outlets everywhere in our lobby. I've been there for a commercial shoot. So there, even the pillars have outlets.
Yeah, but
So
we're in
just be aware of
the,
that.
we're in the middle.
Yeah, so well, there's pillar stands everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
well,
yeah.
that too, I'll take duct tape and we've done that before too.
There's extension cords.
Jeff?
So, do we have through materials like ways we can do handouts? Like, even if it's someone walking around the halls, say, hey, or, something to give the people passing by. It's something that's worth giving to someone.
Yeah,
On the bigger picture there, Peter, if you don't mind?
yeah.
What I'd like to do is ask the board for a motion to approve a dollar amount for PA materials and whatever we need to do to get power or tables or chairs or that kind of thing up to a certain dollar amount, so Peter and his crew can do what they need to do. And this would be on this would be on a, we can say up to 100 or 200, whatever it is, amount to be, and anything above it, they have to come back for it. But this show is in a month, so this is the last meeting we have for it. But I know in the past there is some expenditures necessary for the PA materials, materials, that kind of thing, and also if you need any type of PR stuff, so.
Did we spend any money last year on this?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
spent
know.
money. Oh, don't, let's get breakfast first.
Well, I was going to say, this is our greatest opportunity to recruit. And we have financial well-being now. And I'd like to make a motion to allow up to $750 to be spent at your discretion to get, so there's something they can walk away with, whatever we can do to encourage more people to join our organization, especially boat owners.
Okay, this is for, basically, the discussion is for.
Right, so my
board
motion is
members.
$750, it needs to be seconded.
Need a second on the 750?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Mr. Barnes. Okay, hold on, let's have discussion on that motion, but yes, go ahead.
Can I just say, Peter, if you would talk to Glenn Wiltshire?
I have.
Last year, he
Connected.
was able to comp us the table and the electricity. In previous years, it's cost us like about $500 or so.
No, I've already spoke with, it's being comped.
The table,
The table is being comped.
Huh.
I'll call him about the electricity.
yeah, you could ask him about that.
Definitely question to be asked.
The other thing is that, I don't know if we have a division materials person,
Yes, we do, we're gonna swear. He's not here tonight, but it's David Lee.
but, I know Jerry orders materials for our flotilla and they come like the next day. And there's so many things that we can get for free
Good.
that we don't have to pay for, that can be handed out, and we should try and get as many coloring books for kids.
Color? Well, I would like recommendations then
I have a
for,
recommendation. You know, one thing that's always common at the boat ramps when we're doing inspections is flashlights. I'd say get a little flashlight that's got the inscription on it for the division.
do they say US
Well,
Coast
you can get them.
George has it.
Coast Guard Auxiliary does the flashlights?
That's up to you, Dee. That's up to you.
I try to give you a budget, you do in your committee, do what you think is best.
Okay.
Hold on, okay. I want to finish discussion from the board, then I'll open to the members, okay? So is there any more discussion on the motion from the board for the $750? Do we want to amend it? Do you want to amend it to 500 or lower, or what do you feel is, well, we're still in discussion. You
Yeah,
don't have
no,
to
I know,
amend
but
it.
I think it's a good amount, because if we have to pay for the electric,
We do?
well, no, he said the table is comp, we don't know about the
We
electric.
don't know about the electric yet.
So,
I believe Peter will use fiscal judgment, but at the end of the day, coloring books are nice. People who own boats help our organization, and I think
but
I don't
the-
know if we should get something, you know, they were giving away no, can we buy the shirts for 25 cents from DivThree? Let's buy all of them. They were selling shirts for 25 cents.
Yeah, but what were the sizes, George?
True. Use them as sales.
Yeah, but those were dated all 2014, by the way.
What?
They were dated 2014.
Absolutely, but they're 25 cents.
Yeah. All- Board members only right now. Board members
Right, so that was my only thought, is that
Sorry.
if we could have some people to encourage them to go to an event, a meeting, you know, you and I have kicked this around for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe flyers, whistles, something to get them to go to something. I mean, I think a whistle would be valuable, I think the flashlight's a great idea. I would look at, what's that, Oriental Trading Company, and
Mirrors as well.
mirrors.
Reflective mirrors.
That passed the yellow for a second. Thank you. I'd like to, if you would ask the maker of the motion to amend it to say on a reimbursable basis only, is providing the receipts.
Oh, I thought that's a given. We're gonna give you the money, you gotta show us how you spent it.
No, after you spend, no. What I'm saying is, after he spends the money, it would get reimbursed from it. That's what that's what I'm asking you to amend the motion, where it be a reimbursable basis. Not up to $750, whatever he spends up to $750, but it'll be reimbursable. In other words, he has to put out the money and then be reimbursed, up to $750.
I don't know if
if he's
that's,
gonna get
think
like
so.
whistles, I can pay the whistle vendor, it's not, I think that's, I don't remember how we did it when George buys them.
What, the
But
whistles?
George gets the whistles
I just
that,
got them. I just ordered them from Georgia, from 5-4 they gave me their guy, and it ended up being the cheapest. And I just got the dry whistle with the lanyard around it.
If he doesn't want to amend the motion, he doesn't have to.
I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to make sure,
Yeah, it's
basically,
reimbursed, I would assume that's a fait accompli. I mean, obviously,
on a
if
reimbursable
you need
basis.
somebody to loan you the money or whatever, whoever loans the money gets it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that understanding. All right, very, any more discussion from board members before I open up to the non-board members?
As far as the amount we're talking about?
No, as far as this whole presentation.
Okay, the one thing I
The
do
board
want to
members,
add.
right now, the motion is the amount, yes.
Okay, so one thing I do want to add though is that I remember last year we had a spreadsheet where we're putting people's names, emails, address, phone numbers and things like that. You can't, as far as David Scott says, those things just disappeared. So if we're gonna record this information, we're gonna make sure we hold on to it, and someone is responsible for that and able to spread, either mass emails or whatever, so we can get these people that signed up for interest, that we can get this group back in. So that's the only thing I want to say about that.
I agree.
Well, the thing is that you can offer maybe some price and have a bowl with the people putting their cards there, and you can use those cards to fill in a spreadsheet that could be division-wide
A
distributed.
raffle.
No, not a raffle, but maybe a little gift that they can get.
Well, I think Peter could
One-
select the people he wants to work on the committee, and you guys can hash it out. The motion is, what he said was the motion is up to $750. It's up to $750. It's understood it's reimbursable, and let Peter and the committee decide how to spend it. Is that correct? Okay, very good. All right, any more discussion on board members? Okay, I'll open up now to non-board members, just for open discussion. Mr.
Just
Vian?
it would be a great opportunity to have the active duty, either with the recruitment personnel or PA. So we will join.
Which is fine, I just know we have 2 boats underway, that general vicinity, all day,
That would be
night,
fine to
all
have
day
the
and night,
presence
all day and night,
of
for
the
5
active
days.
duty as well.
I'll write a letter to the CO and a copy of Mr. Etheridge on it to ask him for support during specific shifts of the boat show.
You guys had a big drug bust, we could give away some of that.
Yeah, there you go.
No, we keep that.
All right, okay. All right, any more discussion? Well, go ahead, Jerry.
As far as parking there, I don't know
You gotta pay your own
who
part.
pays or what.
You pay your
When
own.
you first pull in, make that left turn behind the building, they let us park there.
All types of little tricks and tips on parking.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's why I
It's up
quit
for
doing
nothing.
it.
I'll let you know.
there you go.
And uniform.
Okay, any further discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a vote on the motion. Roll call vote. Cindy, please.
Yes. R. Sherman,
Yes.
B. Robotsky,
Yes.
J. Oliva,
Yes.
K. Sattler,
Yes.
B. Freed,
Yes.
M. Byer,
Yes.
Carlos Arenas, Phil
Yes.
Rutledge, J. Barnes,
Yes?
M. Brody.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing.
Oh,
we
you
did-
jobs.
just-
Hold on, man.
Something else?
Go ahead.
We did get a tablecloth from all
Yes.
of the hard work we did for National Safe Boating Week, so we can all share that, the flotillas. And also, we are supposed to get a PFD display. Did you hear anything about that?
Yes, he said he was gonna drop it off personally. This is what he told Brett and I, 'cause we were gonna volunteer to drive it back, and he said, nope, you live in Miami, like he's in Miami, he'll drop it off personally to us.
Okay,
So give it back, definitely give him a call.
I will, because I'd like to have that for the.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great display of a PFD and the EPIRB and everything else. Good, excellent. There you go. All right.
And a dog vest.
What?
And a dog vest.
No, and a dog vest too?
And dogs, stuffed, I have a stuffed animal that I heard that's.
There you go, good idea. So Peter, you'll head up that committee and you can choose whoever you want to be on it. Anyone's interested, talk to Peter, and he can take care of that.
You don't have a dog?
Okay, moving right along, I want to take a break pretty quickly here. The Division 3 COW update, thank you to Lizette and Carlos. It is now live, and Gail. It is now live on the Division 3 website to buy your tickets. Save the Eventbrite fees of $39.83 each. Save the Eventbrite fees by giving a check to Gail for $36 each. It is December 8th, 10 a.m. to 1000 to 1400 at the beautiful Coral Springs Heron Bay Marriott. It's a breakfast buffet, awards ceremony, and from 1000 to 1400 this year, because people didn't want to drive, we had to vote on it. So let's just hopefully we had over 100 people last year, let's try and get 120 people this year. It's cheaper, it's during the day, and it proves to be a great time. I've already invited Dyrox, I've invited the Commodore will be coming from District 7. I've invited Bosun Brown, and I've invited Captain Birdie in as well to attend. So hopefully, and also the station personnel have been invited as well. So please mark your calendars and register either online or mail the check directly to Gail. Her address is on the division website. And please include your flotilla number, okay, and your contact information. So just don't write the check for like $72 and send it in. Want to know who it is, how many guests, and what flotilla you're from, and your contact information on the check, so we can assign the tables and people sit with the people that want to sit accordingly.
Buffet?
Okay? Yes, breakfast buffet. Adam's there.
Your favorite.
There you go. And it's a very, and I want to thank,
Not mine.
Yeah.
I want to thank Mark and Cindy and Gail and Brett for helping us out on the negotiation that actually started from last year to this year to get the price we did. And Jeff is going to be handling the AV, so the slideshow. I know we have a Dropbox
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
filled.
Is that Shutterfly still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Raphael keeps adding stuff to it, so it's growing.
How many pictures are on?
Stuff, so
Pardon?
I'm just gonna pull from that.
I think we have, Carlos, what do we have, like 2,000 pictures?
There is a ton
About
of them.
2,000
I don't
pictures.
No
know.
problem.
All right, good. Also, we'll need a motion from the board to approve reimbursement on, I thought we already did that, reimbursement on for the AV equipment that was, for the change of watch.
What do you need?
Yeah, we already have it in the budget. It's already in
I'm
the
not
budget.
privy to what they have or don't have, so I haven't even made the discussion.
I have a projector, should be.
Well, I have the division projector.
But he needs one with a lot of lumens
But
during
yeah,
the
the
night.
brightness is
difference.
pretty important, so people can see what's going on.
That's what he does for a living.
I need you to send me a copy of the contract, because I need to know when I have to make the next payment.
Sure, absolutely. So did you, no problem. You got it. Okay, and that's the change of watch update. Please be there. Again, it'll be nice because we have a new bridge to welcome in as well. And it'll be a pleasure to see that happen. It'll be a pleasure to pass the torch. It's been a great 2 years, but it's time to pass the torch. Honest to God. So, where's my other page? There you go. All right, does everyone want to take a quick break before we get to the rest of the agenda? We're about an hour in, so let's take a just 10-minute break for some. Cindy.
No, Irvin Cole.
They're already here.
All right, thank you, everybody. Let's get back to business. We're doing great. Next on the agenda is the Hurricane Dorian Incident Command Team report. For those of you who don't know, we had Division DivThree members deployed after Hurricane Dorian became an issue, a threat, I think is the best say. And I want to thank the people in this. Before I ask the report, I think there's at least 3 people or 4 people, 4 people in this room who actually stepped up and volunteered. That was Cindy. Step up, stand up, please, real quick. Irv. Hold your applause. Paul. And it was Raphael. Now, applause.
Here tonight, but Allison McManus was created.
Very good job.
Okay, Irv and Cindy, would you please give a report?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Hello again. Good evening. So, as you just heard, Hurricane Dorian stormed through Nassau, created a lot of destruction. Everybody knows we have to take the 100 and 700 tests, and not too many of us after that do much with it unless you're involved in the incident command system or the EOC or whatnot. So we, on September 2nd, got called up to go staff Division 7 without really a clear mission at that point. It was very flexible, very fluid as to what we were going to do. What grew out of there, and I would say that Division 6, Staff D7, they had a unique mission in and of itself where they had a hotline, an 800 number, where people could call in, social media, whatever, and call in for needs of assistance or even SAR cases. And then that would get forward to the gold side. We, Cindy, myself, Paul, Allison, Raphael, and we did have a couple others that came in just for some brief training. We were stationed at Air Station Miami, which was basically the incident command center for what was going on in Nassau. What we did there was not a drill. It was an actual incident command, not scenario, but the actual mission, thank you. And what we did as part of that is the resource section. If you all know, the ICS is broken down into resource and logistics and whatnot. But the resource section is very much involved with accountability. So as a part of that, we had to be accountable for personnel, fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, cutters, and it wasn't just the Coast Guard, it was the Navy and the Air Force. So it was nonstop, 14-hour days working with the gold side and other branches. I will say this, that the accountability was, like I said, nonstop. Everybody just did an incredible job. I mean, just marvelous. So much so that it fostered and really, it established and really fostered a great working relationship, not only with the gold side, who were so thankful for what the auxiliary did and what we stood for, but also the other services who were there and present and saw what everybody did. The other thing about it that was unique was we were visited by 2 senators and the governor of Florida to come in and thank everybody, and there was some picture moments, and I think also a 3-star general from the Air Force came in and congratulated and thanked some of the auxiliary members, but the auxiliary, the Coast Guard auxiliary, was recognized for their efforts, our efforts combined. And it was a very, very good, unique opportunity to work, you know, certainly side by side with the incident management team of the Coast Guard. We actually, through our levity, I think our sense of humor and somewhat, made for a somewhat of a fun kind of environment, culture there. And we actually, our fellowship rubbed off on them. And it was all a very, very good, successful mission. Countless hours. I know Cindy will get mad at me if I don't say this, but one of the things that we did, that toll-free number, was people would call in and say, my house blew down on top of me, it severed off my leg, I'm bleeding, send me help. So there were SAR cases we were dealing with. Raphael had to input them, I had to input them, and we would see occasionally armed gang of Haitians or whatever nationality, looting places. I don't know what was left to loot, but one of the things that just the mannerism of how everything went, we brought it to the attention of a commander on the air side and said, Commander, you may want to know about this. There's armed groups of bandits looting and whatnot. You're flying in rescue helicopters. Your call, but you might want to bring in a gunship. And he was like, oh wow, this is important. We heard verbal accounts of this. Now we have it in writing. Thank you guys so very much. That really saves our butts. So overall, it was a tremendous involvement. Prior to that, a few weeks before, Cindy had orchestrated some training sessions in the resource part of it with the T cards, and it just went flawlessly. For the most part, what we did learn is to use some of the things we learned about TCT and being adaptable, because we have to be very adaptable. There's the academic way, and then there's the Coast Guard way that they have to do it for their reasons. So we did it the way they wanted, and it worked out perfectly. And everybody who participated just, you know, it was just really, really fostered a tremendous working relationship with the Gold side. Their command, they had admirals come in and they were thanking the Coast Guard Auxiliary. So all in all, it reflected very positively on everybody here and in the Coast Guard Auxiliary. So thank you.
Thank you. I have one question.
Sure.
One question. Public post.
Yes.
How many hours did your team, did the team put in, do you think?
Okay,
Total.
24, without
Everybody.
travel and prep. 12,
No,
24, okay. 12,
400.
24, 36, how many?
400,
400.
and I think 21 hours.
421 hours.
In a few days.
How many days?
About 5 or 6 or so, 7?
7 days.
7 days, I forgot.
Terrific.
So
Thank you.
it was a really pleasant culture. It was a really
No, 9
great.
days, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
9 days.
it's-
9 days.
It was great. It was an awesome
Yeah.
working relationship, and I think they really appreciated me knowing where to go to get the Cuban coffee to keep them up all the time.
The team we worked with was the National
Awesome.
Strike Force for the Incident Management Team, assist team. So they came in from everywhere, and it was just really neat.
And thank you. Thank you very much on behalf of the entire division, of all 326. Bravo Zulu, good job. Everyone on the team, thank you so much. To that point, Mike, this is another thing that we do as a division. You know, basically, I mean, there were what, at least three flotillas involved of Division 3. So we are working to that goal. Okay, next we have staff officer appointments. Brett, you want to join me? Best part of the job, swearing people in. Mr. Carlos Arenas. Coming. Forward, please. You have offered your talents and services in the interest of a better Coast Guard Auxiliary. The pledge you're about to take admits you to an office of greater responsibilities and high honor. Along with this honor, you must be prepared to accept certain obligations as well as the administrative and supervisory responsibilities of your office. Your task is to develop the auxiliary programs, in this case communications, as a staff officer communications, to the maximum efficiency that conditions permit. You are expected to promote close liaison between the Coast Guard, the auxiliary, and the local Coast Guard units, constantly reminding auxiliaries that their actions reflect not only on the auxiliary, but also on the Coast Guard. As a leader, you are charged with maintaining high standards in all auxiliary programs and activities, never compromising honesty and integrities. Everyone please rise. With the full realization of the demands of your office in terms of time, travel, and dedication, if you are willing to accept this honor, please raise your right hand and repeat after me, and this is for the Office of Staff Officer for Communications. I, Carlos Arenas,
I, Carlos Arenas,
do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary
to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary
and its purposes,
and its purposes,
to promote its authorized activities,
to promote its authorized activities,
to properly discharge the duties of my office,
to properly discharge the duties of my office,
and to abide by
and and to abide by
the governing policies
the governing policies
established by the Commandant
established by the Commandant
of the United States Coast Guard.
of the United States Coast Guard.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
I will also just add a quick thing. I'm alive today because Carlos called on a radio when the accident happened. So communications is your thing. So I'm clearly alive today as a result of your actions. So no better person.
I got it.
Okay, last thing on the Division Commander report is the Division 3 flotilla and election updates. I want to thank Gene and his committee for their due diligence. I want to congratulate the candidates, the ones who have volunteered to step up for the office. And just remember, the higher vision has always been to keep the division united in however we proceed in 2020. The flotilla election updates, basically, our division election will be 2 November at 0900 at the station. That's a Saturday. Flotilla 39 is hosting. Thank you, Commander Brody. The rest of the flotilla elections will take place after the division election. And it just so works out the first Wednesday of November is after November 2nd. So everything works out really well. So in November, all 6 flotillas will be holding the elections. Flotilla commanders, please make sure that the elections are being held in accordance with your standing rules and the manual. I've sent out several emails to you. If you have any questions, let me know, but don't wait until the day before. Okay? For this, make sure your screening committees have reported, make sure your standing rules are being complied with. Reason why I'm asking this is so basically there will be good elections without being contested on a procedural matter. If elections are not followed according to the procedures as set forth by in the standing rules and the manual, they can be challenged. And basically then you're going to have a problem like we had 2 years ago, and we had to have another election. So please make sure, flotilla commanders, that your elections are being held by the book. Everything. If you need help with verifying candidates for the screening committee, I know Gene will be more than happy to take phone calls on that. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
Question. There is no meeting in October, right? No division meeting?
No.
It's November
Second.
2nd.
Right. The reason for that is we usually have the last Saturday of the month. But as I've stated in many communications before, the last week in October is service-wide testing with the Coast Guard, and the facility is not available to us, the mess deck. So that's why we're having it the following Saturday, which is the first Saturday in November, and it just happens that the first Wednesday, which will be Flotilla 3-4's meeting, happens after the elections, the division elections. So that's it's in accordance, in congruence with the manual.
I've been to a couple of flotilla meetings where there wasn't a quorum present at the meeting. Is that something that has to be, how does that affect the election?
It has to have a quorum present during the elections of people who have paid up. In other words, you can't be a member unless you have paid. It's up to the flotilla commander and the finance officer, the bridge, the commander, the vice commander, the secretary of record, and the finance officer to make sure that only the quorum requirements are met.
So if they're not met, the election doesn't take place?
Correct. There's no meeting. Well, if the quorum is not there, there's no meeting.
No business can take place.
No business can take place without a quorum. That's it. So then don't forget, if there's a conflict between standing rules of your flotilla and the manual will take precedence. At DivThree, I was informed that we, division commanders, will be getting election guidelines. Okay, I remember what happened last time we got election guidelines.
You had to contest it.
Yeah, exactly. So I made a point of asking in that meeting, are these election guidelines going to be good ones? And I was told yes. So anyways, we'll see when I get them. I will definitely distribute them to the flotilla commanders. Everybody understand the purpose of this is to make sure that we have transparent and quote unquote valid elections. Okay, for every flotilla. Okay, that's my report. Hand it over to Brett.
Sir. Thank you. Let's see. Let's go through the SO reports. Carlos, want to give CM and CS?
Okay, there is a combo.
CMS.
Communications, we had the Hurex exercise. We had a few people in the Oleta Park in Miami, and also in Port Everglades. And actually the active duty came to listen to our exercise, and they were very pleased that we are going to be considered more and more in communications. And during Dorian, we had Ed Quintella, he's in HF, and also Don Lamy from 3/8. He also has HF equipment, so they were on constantly watch standing on high frequency with participation of people from Puerto Rico all the way to New York and Tennessee. I understand there were a bunch of auxiliaries in the calls. And on the computer stuff, I've been working with the commander on Eventbrite for the change of watch.
Very good. Well, thank you for. Well, we have another hurricane coming. Everyone knows. Karen has made a weird turn. Is heading.
Well, but we don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet, but it's crossed the 65th parallel, so all that stuff. Caroline is not here. Mario sent in his report that we had 25, I think, new members, and he has like 20 people in the e-responder, and those have been passed out accordingly. Gene, the IS report, please.
Yes, thank you. So a couple of things in the IS department. I think we need to acknowledge that OX data right now is a broken system. So how does that affect us? It affects us in that trying to input data that you are sending to your IS officer, whether it be me or somebody in your flotilla, is very problematic. You get in, you stay in for 5 minutes, you get kicked out. You don't get in again for another 3 hours, you get in, 5 minutes, you get kicked out. So it's really a problem, and I know everybody's got this vision that something great is coming down the pike, but I'm worried about this year. So I would just encourage your members, please, to get their hours in now. You know, don't wait until the middle of December to decide to do the 70-29 for March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and November.
We get the point.
Been there, done that. Guilty.
And we've been there, haven't we?
I represent that.
So it is a problem. So if things aren't getting put in as quickly as you might think, it probably is a problem of OX data. And everybody knows it all the way up the chain. And you know, this is a Coast Guard server that is being, I don't know. But anyway, it's complicated. Flotillas 3-2, 3-6, 3-7, 3-9. I sent out to you a training management report. That training management report shows what every individual, the status of every individual in terms of their training and whether or not they are in jeopardy for going REYR for any of the many different certifications that you know, we have in the auxiliary. I sent an email to Glenn and also to Rich Lees suggesting maybe that they would also put out that same report. But this is a good report. Anything in yellow has to be turned green. So as you go through it, you look at yellow, you say, uh-oh, this person needs civil rights awareness, you know? Well, then we need to get a way to get that person on board. So go over that report, and again, don't let them wait till the middle of December to decide it's time to stay out of REYR, okay? Do it now, go into that report and see what you have there. So we're doing the best we can, but it is a struggle, and just let me know if anybody has a problem that they need to really work on, and we'll try to help.
Thank you, Gene.
Yes.
Okay. A few people aren't here. Operations, Mr. Brody.
Okay. We were shut down for September. We're back up and running again, so patrols will start again. QE missions, if you have members that need to get their quals done, I would suggest getting the schedule in because all the divisions, 5, 6, 3, and the keys are starting to put them in already, so dates are going to get filled up quick. One of the things that everybody needs, the risk management TCT. I'd like to do 2 of them. Mike, one up at 3-6, so the northern people, and then one down south somewhere. Know whether we do it at your place or do it at the station, so that way people don't have to run all over the place to get it done. So if you can pick a date, a night, we can do it.
How much time do you want?
We only need 2 hours.
Okay, I'll let you know. Well, yeah, I'll.
You know, that it works out, that we can knock it out. Same with you. I mean, I don't care if they're in the same week back to back, like on Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, whatever.
But you want it during the week, not on a Saturday?
Yeah, I don't, because to do it on a Saturday, I might as well just bring everybody in and do it in one place. I'm
Okay.
trying to make it easy so people don't have to run.
All right.
Unless you want, it's up to you guys.
No, that's fine.
Because that way everybody, like, let's say from 3-7 on up can come to you and everybody the other way can go south.
Okay.
So that needs to be done. And if you don't have the risk management TCT, if you have anything to do with the station, TCO operators, like communications, operations, you will go REYR. I don't think there's anything else that it's required, right, Gene?
I don't know, food service?
No, it's not, it's not.
Risk management, risk management.
Yeah, risk management, that's the regular risk management, but the TCT risk management is operations, TCO, and air ops,
Food service required.
and communications.
And you want this in October?
Food service only is required, risk management take on a line. You need to sit through this course for communications.
Mark, you want it in October or November?
Whenever you want. I think the sooner the better, because people are gonna need it. Like anybody who's going for new crew has to have this in Oxdata before we can accept them. So I mean, anybody who's going for QE has to have this in Oxdata before we can QE. They're getting really tough, tougher and tougher on this stuff for some reason, and I understand, because when the input goes from us to Terry, and she goes to put in somebody that we QE'd, and they don't have something, it gets kicked back. So then we got to resubmit it again. So at the meeting with the OTO in Orlando, they really said, we're not going to accept anything. So they said, if it comes in on the help desk and they don't have the quals, reject it. Because they don't want to do all this double work. And I don't want to do it either, it's a lot of paper. So we'll try and schedule some QE missions for the division. We'll try and have a division day QE probably in November. So it'll give time for everybody to get this done, get some hours on the water, and anybody who wants a QE, we'll just pick a day in November with Chief Graber and pick a Saturday and just knock out the whole division in one day. So everybody can come down the station, eat the QE, we'll just get you out on the water and finish up. So any questions on that? Does that work for you with the TCTR?
So TCT has a new name, TCTR. Just to be confusing.
No, it's risk management.
But it's not the same TCT.
There is no more TCT.
So there's no 4 hour, 1 hour anymore,
There
it's just
is-
2 hours.
That's been going for a
And that's
while.
good for how long, 1 year?
Every year it's got to be done. So if you fall into those
Calendar
categories.
year, or is it a rolling year from when you take it?
Calendar. So if you fall in those categories, to stay current, you must take the course. And then it gets inputted in, I send it to Gene so it keeps records of it, and I believe it has to go through the help desk, right, Gene?
Yeah.
But with all the courses, I send to Gene. I don't send them to help desk. I keep a record of them, but no, Gene keeps a record, so if you guys have a problem with IS, Gene has it. So there's a double backup system. That way it's just easier. So if there's any questions on that, Mike, if you set up a date, works for Bob and myself tomorrow, we'll be there, I'm sure we'll.
If you don't know by tomorrow, you know by Monday.
It's not a rush. I just want to try and get people done, because I know a lot of people tried to get into the last class, and we were limited in room at the station. So let's try and make it easy, one north, one south, and we'll just do it.
Good idea.
Okay? Any other questions on that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Peter, anything else on PA? You got the floor. How did you get?
Not really, it was a quiet summer, and I know Hillsborough happens every month with 3-6, and I think Carlos also did a PA event for the lionfish.
Yeah, it was at Pompano, the Sample McDougal House. We had some 150 people.
Excellent. Other than that,
Beautiful.
the next big one is the boat show.
And the rest of the officers aren't here. One of the things I'd like to see, reading some of the newsletters for some of the divisions, they have monthly reports from like all their officers. And keep that in mind, maybe we'll kick that around for next year at some point. Because a lot of people aren't here. It might be easier just to keep that information disseminated. And whether we can get a publication out as often as we'd like versus maybe just an updated newsletter and then a publication for bigger events, maybe quarterly or something along those lines. So with that, Captain,
Just
I'd like to send it back to you.
Okay, next, okay, anything for the good of the division, good of the auxiliary?
I do have a question. We still have the same Oxlow, or is he moved on?
No, he's still there.
Yeah, but he will be moving on, I believe, in February. Again, I can't.
I mean, I know he wears
guarantee
different
that.
hats, but I didn't know if he
No,
was.
but,
San Mateo, I think, will be moving on.
he is, he's not gonna even last that long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sammy's just about done. I forget the name of his replacement.
Oh, but there we got one of mine.
He's already there.
Oh, okay, great.
Good deal. What's the answer?
Spoke to him Monday.
Anybody have anything for the good of the division to speak? Okay, our next meeting will be Saturday, November 2, 0900 at the Station for Lauderdale. We're gonna have our business meeting first, and then the elections. Okay?
When was the Oaks Day stuff?
I'm sorry?
When was the Auxiliary Appreciation Day?
Well, it's not definite yet, but the CO is looking at November 8th right now.
Yeah.
They're looking, it's not definite. When I get definite date, I will pass it on, but right now, it looks like 8 November. Okay, I need a motion then. Well, first of all, thank everybody for a great meeting, a productive meeting, a good fellowship meeting. Thank you so much. I need a motion to adjourn. So made by Byers.
Second.
By Brody. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And thank you, Carlos, for keeping us live.